tonight stood up to the global special interests and delivered a historic win for the American worker. American worker. With your votes, is that friend or foe? Friend or foe? I think it's friend. A loud friend, but a friend, right? With your votes, the great citizens of this country declared to the world that from now on, it's going to be America first. America first. Let me also take a moment to really recognize and thank our terrific Governor, Rick Scott, for being here tonight. And Pam Bondi, who's in the audience someplace. She is an incredible person. So, Pam, thank you. Rick, thank you very much. These are truly amazing people. I also, thank you. I love you too, darling. I even love the guy that said, I love you. What can I tell? And he's a rough-looking dude down there. I also want to give a very special thanks to you, the men and women in the United States military. We're in your debt, and we will never let you down. Now, you know, we did very well with many, many different groups. We did fantastically well with the African-American community. We did fantastically well with the Hispanic community. We have a lot of people here tonight from the India community. Hindus, we did great with the Hindus. In fact, where are they? We have a big group. Boy, did we do. There they are. I want to thank you. You folks were amazing. They went out and they voted, and they were fantastic. And we did well with women. Women. But, you know, and by the way, how about the evangelicals? How good was that? A world record. Evangelical Christians. We set the all-time record in the history of elections in this country, evangelicals. We're going to honor our troops, and it really begins with restoring respect for our great American flag. Is that right? We're going to defend the flag our heroes fought and died for to protect. And I want to tell you, I don't like when I see people burning our flag. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And you don't like it. And we're going to try doing something about it, all right? We're going to do something about it. We're also going to rebuild our badly depleted military. We have the greatest people in the world in our military. We are going to rebuild our depleted military, and we're going to finally take care of our great, great veterans. Where are the veterans tonight? America. America pursues this vast military power in the hopes that we do not have to use it, but we'll be prepared if we have to. There's rarely been a time when we've needed military power more than it is right now, and we're going to have it. It's going to be peace through strength. Peace through strength. At the same time, our foreign policy needs a new direction. We've spent $6 trillion in the Middle East, and now it's in worse shape than it's ever been before. Years of horror. And look at what's happening over there right now. $6 trillion, and look what's happened. It's death. It's a horrible thing. We're going to do everything we can. We're going to get it straightened out one way or another. But just think of it, all of that money, All of those lives, and I mean lives on both sides, tremendous lives, tremendous numbers of people, and we have nothing. It's 15 times worse than it was when we started. So we're going to start using our head. We're going to do things right, and we're going to try and patch that up, and we're going to try and help people. We're going to build safe zones. We're not having them come over. We're going to build safe zones in Syria. We're going to build safe zones. And we're going to get the Gulf states to pay for the safe zones. And we're going to try and help people. We're going to try, and we're going to get it done. Meanwhile, at home, our infrastructure is crumbling, our schools are failing, and our workers can't find good-paying jobs. You know that. Oh, we're going to change that so fast, your heads are going to spin. Instead of rebuilding foreign nations, it's time to rebuild our nation, and that's what we're going to do. For too long, we've been moving from one reckless intervention to another, countries that most of you have never even heard of before. It's crazy, and it's going to stop. A Trump administration will focus on the vital national security interests of the United States. And that means crushing ISIS rapidly and defeating radical Islamic terrorism. Importantly, America will also stand with the Cuban people in their long struggle for freedom. And I want to appreciate, I'll tell you what, their support has been unbelievable. Their support has been unbelievable. Thank you. The Cuban people, we know what we have to do, and we'll do it, so don't worry about it. The numbers have been incredible. In fact, they gave me, just prior to the election, the Bay of Pigs Award, and let me tell you, that was a great honor for me. So I want to thank the people, the Cuban people. To be a strong nation, we must also be a rich nation, a wealthy nation, and we will be. Whether it's exploring space or curing disease, we want the next generation of innovation and production to happen right here in America and right here in our great state of Florida, right? And you know, speaking of Florida, I don't know if you want to hear this, but should I discuss the one day, a day in the life? Should we do that or not? I always say, should we do it? And everybody wants to do it. You've probably heard it before, but we'll make it Florida-oriented because this was a big, big win. We won easily. We won by a tremendous number of votes. And if you watch television, if you watch these very dishonest people back here, man, is that a lot. Shit. Well, you know, first of all, you know, maybe before we start, this field is massive, and I'm looking back there, and with the lights you can't see, but I'm seeing, there they are. Look at that. That is a lot of people. Man, that is, I'll tell you, that is a lot of people back there. Let's see if we can get the cameras to turn around and capture the size of this audience. They won't do it, but let's give it a shot. Man, that's a big crowd. You know what we should have done? We should have had all those thousands of people behind the cameras. We should have had the cameras back and the people forward. Because we waste our time with these people. We should have had the cameras back. Next time, please do that. Just move the cameras back. You know, the equipment is so great nowadays that they can microscope it and we can get it nice. They could be all the way in the back and it won't make any difference for television. They're screaming, move them back. You believe it? Move them back. You know what? Hey, here's the bottom line. They're very dishonest. They've written very dishonestly about all of us. This is a movement like they've never seen before. And yet, we won, folks. We won, right? And you see the other side is complaining. You watch. I mean, they're all complaining. Oh, gee. Well, before the election, when they thought they were going to win, and I didn't, I'll tell you what, that final week was magic. Every place we went, we had crowds like this. And you're going to have 22,000 people here tonight. More. You got thousands outside that can't get in. That's pretty good when you can't get into a field, okay? And I spoke actually to the fire marshal. I said, can't you let more people in the back? They said, no. I said, why? There's no fire here. They said, no, sir, it's stampede. I said, stampede? No, seriously, that's how many people we have. They're worried about a stampede. At least we know it's going to be a friendly stampede, right? Very friendly. Well, I really appreciate you being here. This is incredible. And this is really, you know, I had this idea. We won, and we won very easily. We had 306. Remember they said he cannot get to 270. There is no path to 270, right? I went to Maine 4 times because I wanted to get 1 vote. Maine had 1. I needed the 1 because I believe these people. So what happened is this. We went out and we watched the media, and we believed the media, and the media is very dishonest. They were even dishonest in their exit polls, right? Now, what's the purpose of being dishonest in an exit poll when you're going to find out the truth in 3 hours? What are they doing? Other than tormenting us because we thought for about 2 or 3 hours we were going to lose, right? But it started about 3 months before the election when we heard the great state of Texas, which I thought we were doing great in, and Georgia, what a great state, and Utah, and you heard it, Georgia is in play. Now, that means that, you know, like I could lose it. Now, you shouldn't lose it as a Republican. You lose Georgia, you're in big trouble. So they said, Georgia's in play. He's even. He's even in Georgia. I said, man, I thought I was way up. In Texas, Texas is in play. And I said, this is not good. And then we had the exit polls. And my daughter and my son-in-law called me, and they said, Pop, not looking good. Not looking good. And I really thought, you know, I was already preparing in my mind. I was saying, well, if that's the way it is, because they were faulty polls. I mean, they were faulty. But they said Ivanka. Has anyone ever heard of Ivanka? She said, Dad, I'm telling you, it's, don't worry about it, Dad. It's okay. I said, I can't believe it that we're going to lose. I can't believe it because I've been, you know, I've seen these crowds. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, bottom line, the polls close, right? And they go, Donald Trump has won the great state of Texas. I said, what happened? Like in 2 minutes. Donald Trump, breaking news. Donald Trump has won Georgia. Donald Trump has won Utah. Now, these were states for 2 months they're talking about that were even. And in fact, in Utah, I had this character that nobody ever saw before. Nobody ever heard of him before. I said to my wife, that's correct, that's his name. He said, Evan McMuffin. Do you believe this? Or something like that. Now, I never heard of this guy before. Nobody did. And the polls said, he is even with Donald Trump. My wife said, she looked at the television, she said, he's not even with you. Believe me, he's not even. Anyway, so we win. They all love Melania. Is Melania great? She's great. She is great. She is a solid rock, great person. And she loves you, and she's enjoying herself. I'll tell you that. It's much better to win than to lose. Do we agree with that? So Utah, it gets announced very early. Breaking news, Donald Trump has won Utah. Now, we didn't just win it. We, like, slowed it. And Evan, whoever this is, this person, remember he said, we think we can win the election. We said, but you're only going to win maybe Utah. And you know what he would have done if he did? Maybe it didn't turn out that way because we had plenty of votes, plenty of everything. But all he would oh, I don't know if he's a lightweight. We should never say that. That's not nice. Don't ever call a person like that a lightweight. Boy, what a group. Only in Florida can this stuff happen. But we won Utah by a lot, like a real lot. And it was a massive, and Evan didn't even come in second. Hillary came in second, okay? So again, I really believe it was dishonest polling, but you know, who knows, right? Who thinks it was dishonest by the media? I do. I do. I do. So we open up with that. Then all of a sudden, Ohio, where they had us down for 2 months as even, we win by almost 10 points. So we hear, and we were supposed to win maybe by 2 points or 1 point or 3 points. And I had a little hostile environment. I had a governor that wasn't exactly like the great Rick Scott. I had a governor who, I said, how do you win a state when you don't have the support of the governor? Well, we won. I think I probably did better this way. So they go out and they say, breaking news, Donald Trump has won Ohio, and with a very big number. And then breaking news, Donald Trump has won Iowa by more than 10 points. That's unheard of, right? And then we come down to this beautiful piece of land that we all love, surrounded by the ocean, right? Surrounded by beautiful seas. It's a place called Florida. Have you ever heard of it? Has everybody heard of Florida? I love Florida. I love the people of Florida. So all night long, it's even. It's going even. And then they get to the Panhandle. Now, I don't know who lives in the Panhandle. Not too many. Did I blow them out of the Panhandle or what? You know why? Because the Panhandle wants its jobs back, okay? But the Panhandle was unbelievable, and we won Florida big, much bigger than anybody thought, big. So they go, yeah, and you know, you had the other side. They were being interviewed saying, we will win Florida, and we expect to win it easily. Breaking news, Donald Trump wins the state of Florida, right? Right? And then we win South Carolina, and then we have North Carolina. Now, North Carolina was supposed to be close, very hard for the Republicans to win. A lot of reasons for that, but it's very hard. But we worked hard there, and really effective. My children were there, and everybody was there. They were working hard. And then it comes out, the Tar Heels, and then it comes out very strongly that Trump is looking good in North Carolina. And my opponent, I won't mention names because I wouldn't want to, but my opponent, they spent a fortune in North Carolina. And their people got on television. Jeez. Oh, that's so terrible. You know, here's what's happened. And I noticed because I did Ohio. We did Iowa. We did North Carolina. We did all over. Last night, Hershey, Pennsylvania. Did you see that crowd? Pennsylvania. And it's like, thank you, Florida. Thank you, Pennsylvania. We're doing a thank you. Nobody's ever heard of it before. That's why we all have more imagination than anybody that's ever done this, right? Because we're not politicians. But I'll tell you what I noticed. Okay, so I'll tell you what I noticed. So we go to Ohio and we go to Iowa. The crowds are incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing people. So here's what I noticed. 4 weeks ago, just prior to, and always prior to, you people were vicious, violent, screaming, where's the wall? We want the wall. screaming, prison, prison, lock her up. I mean, you are going crazy. I mean, you were nasty and mean and vicious, and you wanted to win, right? Now, same crowds. That's right, deplorables. Whatever happened to the deplorables, right? They're not so deplorable. They're not so deplorable anymore. In fact, the other side's trying to figure out, well, in 4 years, how do we get some of these deplorables to our side, right? But now, it's much different. Now you're laid back, you're cool, you're mellow, right? You're basking in the glory of victory. And we're already getting to work. You see what we did with Carrier? We're saving a lot of jobs. And many, many places. We got a lot of things going on, but we're going to do the big picture, but we sort of have to wait till we get in office, don't you agree? You know, just I'm having a hard time waiting. I just make phone calls. Listen, you can't move. But now you're mellow, and you're cool, and you're not nearly as vicious or violent, right? Because we won, right? And now you're sort of laying back. Although it doesn't exactly sound like a totally laid-back crowd, but that's okay. So the other side goes out, and they say, Trump cannot win North Carolina. That's our firewall. Remember on television, this is our firewall. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has won the state of North Carolina. Unbelievable. And then you look at Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania was always the state, they say, the bride that got away. Every Republican for 38 years, but every Republican, they left. And before the election, everybody thought, every single Republican, you're going to win Pennsylvania, right? You know that. It didn't work out that way at all. Never worked out that way. And we were campaigning in Pennsylvania. We were getting the biggest crowds they've ever had, they've ever seen by far. And I kept saying, we're going to win the state. But then I'd remember the statement. I'd hear it over and over that Republicans don't win it. They think they're going to win it, and they don't win it. And they wouldn't announce these crooked people back here. They wouldn't. No. They wouldn't announce it. Well, first of all, they were in a state of panic. They were in a state, because now we win Florida. And they were worried because we won Ohio by so much more than we were anticipated to win. And we won Iowa so big. And we won Florida so much bigger than we thought. And by the way, just to go back a few months, how good did we do in Florida in the primary, right? How good was that? Oh, that was good. But I don't talk about that anymore. We don't talk about it. So now they're getting nervous on television. And you see these anchors, and they're like sweating and crying and throwing up all over the place. And, you know, a couple of them with the chart. Nice guy, John King. He's very good with the chart, but now his hand is getting like a little... Because, you know, all those months he's saying there is no path to 270 for Donald Trump. There is no path. So now what happens? We're leading Pennsylvania. 306 is right. We're leading Pennsylvania by a lot. And we have 1%. It's at 99%. And it was there for hours. I said, why don't they? In fact, I consider it a win because the 1% was not nearly enough votes to win because we were leading by a lot. So what happened? They couldn't take it. But instead of announcing it like at 11 o'clock, they waited till like 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Now, I think they did that for commercials, if you want to know the truth, because the audience was massive. But a couple of things happened that were a little bit surprising. We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump, and now the guy's getting sick. He's ready to throw up all over. Donald Trump, and this came out, and these people are incredible. I thought we were going to do well there. Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. Now they're saying, where did that come from? Where did it come from? And then right after that, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has won the state of Michigan. Michigan. Hasn't been won in like 38 years, right? And now the gentleman is with the map, which is just bloody. It's red, so beautiful. Remember the map when they showed it? There was a lot of blue. That blue got knocked to hell, I'll tell you that. Got knocked to hell. Oh, that was pouring red. And you know, they said you cannot break the blue wall. Up by Canada, right? You cannot break the blue wall. I've been hearing this for months, and I said, oh, how are we ever going to break the blue wall? Because we used to believe guys like Walter Cronkite, right? But we don't have Walter Cronkite anymore. This is a different world. So we're listening to these people. They're dishonest as hell. And what happens is they're telling me for months, all of us, they're telling all of us, you cannot break the blue wall. So what happens is we, not only did we break it, we shattered the hell out of it, right? So now we win Wisconsin, and now what happens? We win Wisconsin, we win Michigan, and I knew we were going to win Michigan because I've been talking about cars being ripped out of Michigan, where they make the cars, the plants, and going to Mexico. I've been talking about it for 5 or 6 years. I got the Man of the Year award 4 years ago in Michigan. All I talked about is you can't let your factories go. You're letting your factories go. And they said that wasn't the reason for the Man of the Year. I said, I don't care. You can't do this. And they remembered all of this. You know, they remembered. We won Michigan. So now what happens is he's up with the red. And he's going, oh, and his hand starts to shake. Did you know? And he's gasping for breath. Oh, he can't breathe. He's choking like a dog, right? Oh. And for months he's been saying, I had no path to victory. And you know, the bad news is a lot of people probably believed him and they didn't go out to vote. It's called suppressing the vote. Suppressing the vote. That's what it's called. You love Donald Trump, but you figure, look, Alice, I'm not going to go out. Darling, he can't win. Because I believe these people when they say he has no path to victory. Man, did we have a path to victory. So he puts down red for Wisconsin. He puts down red for Michigan. Now I don't even need the rest of the states, right? In fact, they took all the glamour and all the glory away from Pennsylvania. They should have called it hours earlier. And he goes, I'll never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, as he's going, ladies and gentlemen, there is no path to victory for Hillary Clinton. There is no path. There is no path. Incredible. And then he said, Donald Trump is the next president of the United States. It's you. You. It was an amazing evening. Thank you. Thank you. And congratulations to you. And you know, they never gave Pennsylvania that glamour of victory. They should have, because those people were so incredible. I was with them last night. I said, they took it away from you, folks. But then Pennsylvania came in and others came in, and it was like incredible. So we ended up with 306, and it could have even been more than that. It was an amazing evening. And they say the most historic ever. They say the most historic ever. But you know what's more important now? That we all together, but we all together do a great job. That's what's next, okay? That's what's next. We're going to do a great job. For years, the jobs and wealth have been ripped out of our country. Foreign powers have gotten rich, bleeding America dry. But that's all about to end, folks. Believe me, it's going to end rapidly. The American worker is finally going to have a champion in the White House, and it's going to be a champion for you. economic agenda can be summed up in three very beautiful words: jobs, jobs, jobs. That's why we're going to lower our business tax rate from 35% down to 15%, and you watch what happens. We're going to bring it from the highest in the world to one of the lower rates in the world. Maybe someday we'll get it down to the lowest. And you watch what's going to happen. It's also why we're going to eliminate job-killing regulations, a disaster. And we're going to lift the restrictions on the production of American energy, including shale, oil, natural gas, and clean coal. Another critical element of our jobs plan is a historic $1 trillion investment in our very bad and crumbling infrastructure. It's time, folks. It's time. Our bridges are deficient. Our roads are in disrepair. Our airports are like third world countries. Our schools are a disaster. We are going to fix our country. It's time. We have no choice. It's time. I'm asking Congress to support the construction of new roads and bridges, airports, tunnels, and railways across this nation, and we're going to put people back to work in the process. Believe me, it's going to be our people. It's time to help get Americans off of welfare and back into the labor market, rebuilding this country with American hands by American workers. American workers. My administration will follow two simple rules: buy American and hire American. At the center of this agenda is fixing our absolutely terrible trade deals. They are so bad. I have studied them. You know, I'm one of these people, I like reading trade deals. Can you believe this? But that's what you want. You don't want to read them. They are so bad. I can tell you, how bad are they? He says, how bad are they? Like, really bad. But we're going to make them really good. And we have the great people to do it. You know, the media was saying, the people that are negotiating your trade deals are very rich. I said, but isn't that what we want? And they said, why is it that the people protecting our border are generals? Because that's what we want. We want generals. We want generals. I don't need an MBA at the border, and I don't need a general negotiating our trade deal, right, when you think of it. No, we have General Kelly. You know General Kelly. He's going to be watching over our borders. He's amazing, incredible. And as you know, we have General Mad Dog Mattis, Secretary of Defense. We're not playing games, folks. We're not playing games. No more games. Do we agree? No more games. We've been playing games for 20 years, for longer than that. No more games. That's right. Look at him. Drain the swamp. That's right. Pretty good. We're going to have strong borders, folks. And we're going to make great trade deals, and you're going to be proud of your country again. You watch. America is now running a nearly $800 billion trade deficit. Think of it, $800 billion. Our country has lost 1/3 of its manufacturing jobs since NAFTA. We've lost 70,000 factories since China opened and joined the World Trade Organization. 70,000 factories we've lost. Can you believe it? It's hard to believe. I thought it was a typo. It's the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world, but we're going to get them back. But we're going to turn it all around, and we're going to turn it around fast, faster than you think. We are not going to be taken advantage of by other countries anymore. Right? Our goal is to bring back that wonderful phrase. Remember, some of you that are a little bit older, Made in the USA. Remember that beautiful? Made in the USA. We used to have on the cars it says made in the USA. We don't have that anymore. We're going to start putting made in the USA, right? What do you like better? Made in the USA or made in America? Hold it. Hold it. Yeah. So ready? Who likes made in America? Who likes made in the USA? Yeah. I think so. Okay, wait. So I have one more because, you know, this is like doing a free poll. You know, a lot of people would spend $1 million for that. And these are the people that led our country. They would go out and they would do a poll. It would cost $1 million. They might not be as accurate as what but here's another one. So Time Magazine and the Financial Times, big deal, just gave me Person of the Year. Person. Okay. They should give it to you because this is a movement, folks. This isn't me. Although I have been a very good messenger. Do we agree? But they gave me. So are you ready? So in the past, it was called Man of the Year. Now it's called Person of the Year. So here's the question. What do you like better? Ready? Do you like Person of the Year? Do you like Man of the Year? And that's the women, too. You know, I mean, well, they want to be politically correct. Now, I've heard for so many years, Man of the Year, I'm Man of the Year, and then it comes out Person of the Year. You know, look, they have to be politically correct. But I had an idea. No, I had an idea. Because they say, what do you do if it's a woman, right? So you go, if it's a man, you go Man of the Year, Trump. If it's a woman, like this incredible woman down here, if it's a woman, maybe you go Woman of the Year or Person of the Year, right? It's a big deal, right? Should we speak to the people at Time Magazine, say we want it again next year, but we want maybe Man of the Year next year, okay? So, no, it's a great honor. It's great to be, and you know, we have to justify it. We will withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership. We're going to totally renegotiate the worst trade deal ever made anywhere in the world at any time, NAFTA. We're going to stand up to foreign cheating and fight for every last American job. And if a company wants to fire their workers and leave Florida for another country and then ship their products back, there will be consequences. Not going to happen anymore. They fire their workers, they close their plant, they move their factory to Mexico or someplace else. They sell the product back in with no tax into our country. So we end up with unemployment and loss. They end up with everything, right? Everything. It's a one-way street, not going to happen anymore. From now on, we'll inform them that they are going to pay a 35% tax if they'd like to leave. Okay? 35%. Or something substantial. And you know what's going to happen? They're not going to leave. It's very simple. Now, why didn't the politicians do this 15, 20 years ago? Why didn't they do it? For two reasons. Two reasons. You know what the two reasons? Either they're stupid or they get paid off by campaign contributions. That's all. Very simple. But to be a rich nation, we must also be a safe nation. The murder rate has experienced its largest increase in the United States in 45 years. The press doesn't tell you that. The murder rate in Orlando doubled last year. We are going to support the incredible men and women of law enforcement. And we are going to bring this terrible crime wave to a rapid end. One of the greatest public safety threats remains open borders. This is horrible what's going on with the borders. And the drugs pouring into our country and poisoning our youth and other people. Poisoning our youth, pouring in, like water pours in. I have a message for the drug dealers, the gang members, and the criminal cartels terrorizing our cities, our locations, our citizens. Your days are numbered. We're getting you out, and we're getting you out fast. We will build a great wall, and we will stop illegal immigration for once and for all. Going to build that wall. The Border Patrol agents endorsed me. ICE endorsed me. I said to them, tell me about the wall. They said, we need it, Mr. Trump. We need it. They know better than anybody. We're going to build a wall. It's going to be a great wall, and it's going to have big, beautiful doors in it because we're going to have people coming into our country. But they're going to come into our country legally. We will also work to keep our country safe from terrorism. The attack on Pulse nightclub in Orlando was the worst mass shooting in American history and the deadliest assault on the LGBTQ community in American history. We've seen Islamic terror attacks from Paris to Belgium to San Bernardino. One after another, again and again, we're going to stop it. So let me just state this as clearly as I can. I am going to keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country. That includes suspending immigration from regions where it cannot be safely processed or vetted. And the vetting is going to be a term that I devised that now other people are using, extreme vetting, right? Extreme vetting. Nothing will come before the safety and security of the American people. Ethics reform will be a crucial part of our plan as well. We're going to drain the swamp of corruption in Washington, D.C., and stop government officials from trading favors at your expense. We face many challenges, but this is truly an exciting time to be alive. The script is not yet written. We do not know what the page will read tomorrow. But for the first time in a long time, what we do know is that the pages will be authored by each and every one of you. You, the incredible American people, will be in charge. Your voice, your desires, your hopes, your aspirations will never again fall on deaf ears. The forgotten men and women, by the way, they're not so forgotten anymore, are they? They didn't know what hit them. Oh, those forgotten people, they're not forgotten. They are not forgotten. They're still writing stories about it. They say, what happened? They came out to vote big league, didn't they? And these are great people. These are smart people. These are hard-working people. These are people that sometimes haven't voted in a long time. But you know what? They saw, they heard, they wanted what we're all doing, and we're doing it together. And they came out, and these people had no clue what the hell happened. So I just want to tell you thank you. And you're going to be very happy with the result. Thank you. You're going to be very happy. Together, we will raise incomes and bring jobs and wealth and opportunity to our poorest communities. We will repeal the disaster known as Obamacare and create new health care, all sorts of reforms that work for you and your family. And we are going to be doing it properly. And we will not spend $5 billion for a website. Okay, remember that. And we will not spend $4.2 billion for an airplane so I can fly around, all right? $4.2 billion for Air Force One. I don't think so. We will reestablish the rule of law, defend the Second Amendment, protect religious liberty, and appoint justices to the United States Supreme Court who will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. We will heal our divisions and unify our country. Our country is very divided. We will bring our country back together. We will love everyone, not segments, not small groups or big groups. We're going to love everyone in our country. When Americans are unified, there is nothing we cannot do. No task is too great, no dream too large, no goal beyond our reach. My message tonight is for all Americans, from all parties, all beliefs, all races, all walks of life. Whether you are African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, whatever the hell you might be, okay? We are all Americans, and we are all united by one shared destiny. So I'm asking everyone to join this incredible movement. I'm asking you to dream big again. Dream bold, big and bold. I love that. Dream big and bold and daring. For your families, for yourself, for your country. Big and bold and daring. I'm asking you to believe in yourself, and I'm asking you to believe once again in America. And if we do that,